Throughout history, nothing has killed more human beings than infectious disease. No natural disasters like bushfires or earthquakes, not even war. Malaria, a mosquito-borne disease, has stalked humanity since the ancient Egyptian Empire and still kills nearly 500,000 people every year. Between 1348 and 1350, the Black Death killed a quarter of the European population, whereas at the start of the 20th century, more people died from the Spanish flu than during World War I. Today, COVID-19 has taken more than 400,000 lives globally, and whilst the virus spreads, world economies and livelihoods are brought to a halt. We shouldn't be surprised though. Many experts and even The Simpsons have been predicting a pandemic such as COVID-19 for decades, and forecast that new infectious diseases are on the rise, locating us in the dawn of the new pandemic age. As the world population skyrockets and habitats of wildlife plummet, our radically interconnected world allows infectious agents, such as viruses, to jump species, mutate and spread like never before. And whereas high population density means that viruses can spread rapidly to devastating effect, our long-reaching global supply chains increase our reliance on foreign healthcare equipment. General medicine Dr. Gabrielle Ray belongs to the single group of people most at risk of contracting deadly infectious diseases: healthcare workers. Each day, Gabrielle's personal protective equipment, also known as her PPE, is the only barrier between her and infection.
PPE is not new to the hospital. However, since the addition of COVID, we have been using far more PPE than ever before. It includes often a full-length gown, gloves, masks, and some form of eye protection, such as a face shield or goggles.
The impacts of COVID-19 have led to mass global shortages in PPE and record amounts of waste. Medical workers must change their PPE more often than ever, in some cases up to 50 times a day, leading up to 3 bags of garbage per patient.
There's a lot of news about that PPE is going to run out and that we're told to conserve equipment as much as possible. Not only is it scary because it increases the chance of the disease spreading and it becoming a bigger problem from patient to patient, but also the fact that we could bring it home to our friends and family.
Gabrielle is just one of many frontline workers, heading into battle without armour. Insufficient equipment has led to the infection of thousands of medical workers across the world, sometimes forced to wear the same equipment for 24-hour shifts, facing anxiety-inducing working conditions. At the same time, hospitals are struggling to deal with the waste. In Australia, medical waste is either sterilised by steam treatment and left to degrade over centuries in our environment, or else it is incinerated, a controversial technique which releases several harmful gases into the atmosphere. In other countries, improper disposal of medical waste can put whole populations at risk of secondary disease. Industries ranging from architecture to cosmetics are diversifying their offerings to include PPE, yet they still rely on traditional hybrid plastic materials, solving the issue of supply but not of disposal. There is also an increasing trend in making DIY PPE. However, this again relies on non-degradable material and introduces risks through design defects. Our solution is Aegis, a PPE alternative that is completely bioconstructed and biodegradable. Kombungi is a native Australian aquatic weed belonging to a species of wetland plants called typha. Also known as bulrush and cattail, this plant is found all over the world. It is one of many wetland plants that are being investigated as a new agricultural source due to its high yield and fast growth rate. Nicknamed the supermarket of the marsh, Kombungi has been used for centuries in traditional medicine, as the young leaves of the plant contain antimicrobial properties. The stem and the leaves of the plant contain fibers that can be used to weave material, and its roots are high in starch and amylase, which are key ingredients for creating strong bioplastic. The unique composition and ecologically restorative effects of Kombungi have already spiked interest across many fields, and we believe we can use this plant to revolutionize the production of PPE. When treating patients at risk of spreading infection, healthcare workers must wear a special type of gown, often called an isolation gown. These gowns must meet a range of strict industry requirements, including the ability to repel infectious fluids and airborne pathogens while still allowing some moisture to escape, ensuring wearability. While some varieties of isolation gowns are reusable, most are disposable, reflecting a global trend towards single-use PPE. Disposable gowns are almost exclusively made from petroleum-based plastic derivatives, such as non-woven polypropylene fibers. Our design proposes a 3-layered fabric sourced from Kombungi. Through a process of chemical retting, a thread with similar characteristics to cotton can be extracted from Kombungi, which can then be woven to create the soft inner layer of the gown. The outer layers will be made from bioplastic sourced from the roots of Kombungi to give it a repellent finish. Research shows that the antimicrobial activity of Kombungi has an inhibitory effect on the microorganisms E. coli and Salmonella. We propose to extract the antimicrobial chemical components of the plant and add it to the bioplastic coating of our fabric, providing an extra layer of protection and decreasing the risk of biohazard after disposal. And the best part is, starch-based polymers are highly degradable, meaning they will not interfere with the natural composting of the woven inner material. Using this unique fabric, we have consulted with several medical professionals to develop a new type of isolation gown. We discovered a range of pain points throughout our ideation process and have responded with 2 concepts. As the process of donning and doffing is seen as tedious and slows reactions at a critical time, our first design has altered the fit to enable quick application. Through removing the opening at the back and embedding the gloves into the gown, it also seeks to reduce opportunities for pathogenic breaches. While this design had good initial feedback, we have located some potential problems, including the ease of application when wearing clothes and the zone around the neck introducing pathogens in the doffing process. We have developed a second option in response that uses a more traditional open back seam, while still maintaining the embedded glove and drawstring features. This second concept includes a range of colourful panels to introduce visual hierarchy in a hospital setting where it is often extremely difficult to tell people apart. Using a type of technology called anaerobic digestion, we plan to work with hospitals to collect used gowns and digest them into products such as biogas and fertiliser, which can then go back into fueling the operations of production or the daily operations of the hospital. Our vision is to farm Kombungi using recycled water at a number of locations across Australia, starting with Victoria. Through a network of factories supported by renewable energy, sourced from the end cycle of our own products, we believe that we can provide a local solution to the global PPE crisis. While we want to start in Australia, Kombungi is abundant across the world. The Aegis model has the potential to produce much needed healthcare equipment in underserved countries, boosting local industry and decreasing hazardous waste. We face some challenges in the cost of new equipment and human capital. However, through considering the environment throughout every stage of the product lifecycle, we believe that Aegis can pave the way towards a more resilient future for the healthcare industry. Aegis, protecting you and the environment.